Time and Free Will is a philosophical treatise written by Henri Bergson and originally published in 1889. In this work, Bergson explores the nature of time and its relation to human freedom and consciousness. He challenges the conventional understanding of time as a linear and measurable concept, proposing a more intuitive and subjective perspective. Bergson argues against the concept of time as a series of static, isolated moments. Instead, he posits that true duration is a continuous and indivisible flow, which he calls duration, or pure duration. According to Bergson, the experience of time is not captured by fixed measurements or mathematical calculations but is a lived, qualitative experience that resists precise measurement. One of Bergson's central ideas is the distinction between clock time and lived time. Clock time refers to the external, measurable time that is quantified and divided into past, present, and future. On the other hand, lived time, or duration, is an inner experience that encompasses the entirety of one's lived moments and cannot be reduced to fixed divisions. Bergson suggests that our subjective experience of time is closer to lived time than to the abstract divisions of clock time. Bergson also connects the concept of time to human freedom and the ability to make choices. He argues that the experience of time as duration allows for genuine freedom, as it implies the ability to break away from determinism and make spontaneous decisions. In his view, true freedom arises from our immersion in the continuous flow of duration, where the past is not a fixed determinant but a source of creative potential. Critics of Time and Free Will have pointed out various concerns with Bergson's ideas. Some argue that his rejection of the objective, measurable nature of time undermines scientific understanding and can lead to a subjective and relativistic view of reality. Others criticize Bergson's reliance on intuition and personal experience, suggesting that it lacks the rigor and universality required for a comprehensive theory of time. Despite the criticisms, Bergson's work has had a significant impact on philosophy and influenced subsequent thinkers. His emphasis on lived experience and the subjective nature of time challenged conventional notions and opened up new avenues of exploration in philosophy, psychology, and even literature. In summary, Time and Free Will, by Henri Bergson, presents a philosophical exploration of time, challenging the traditional understanding of time as a linear, measurable entity. Bergson proposes a more intuitive concept of time as duration, emphasizing the continuous flow of lived experience. He connects this notion of time to human freedom, suggesting that our immersion in duration enables genuine freedom and creativity. While the work has faced criticisms regarding scientific rigor and relativism, it remains an important contribution to the philosophy of time and subjective experience. Treatise Logico-Philosophicus is a philosophical work written by Ludwig Wittgenstein and published in 1921. It is considered one of the most influential philosophical works of the 20th century and focuses on the nature of language, logic, and the limits of meaningful expression. The book is structured into 7 main propositions, each addressing different aspects of philosophical inquiry. Wittgenstein's Treatise Logico-Philosophicus begins with the assertion that the world is composed of facts, which can be represented through language. He argues that the structure of language mirrors the structure of reality and that meaningful statements are those that correspond to facts. According to Wittgenstein, the limits of language are the limits of our world, and any statement that goes beyond the realm of what can be expressed is nonsensical. The book introduces the concept of the picture theory of language, which suggests that sentences are meaningful when they accurately depict the states of affairs in the world. Wittgenstein uses the analogy of a picture to explain that language functions as a representation of reality, and propositions can be understood as pictures of facts. Wittgenstein also emphasizes the importance of logical analysis in philosophy. He argues that the logical structure of language is what allows for meaningful communication and that philosophical problems arise from linguistic misunderstandings. He proposes that philosophy's task is to clarify the limits of language and to dissolve philosophical problems by revealing their linguistic origins. Critics of the Treatise Logico-Philosophicus have raised several concerns. Some argue that Wittgenstein's emphasis on logical analysis and the limitations of language leads to a narrow and reductionist view of philosophy. They suggest that by restricting meaningful discourse to empirical facts and logical propositions, the book ignores other aspects of human experience and philosophical inquiry. Another criticism is that Wittgenstein's ideas can be difficult to understand and interpret. The book's concise and aphoristic style, combined with its abstract concepts, can make it challenging for readers to grasp the full meaning of his arguments. This has led to divergent interpretations and debates among scholars regarding the precise implications of his philosophy. Despite the criticisms, the Treatise Logico-Philosophicus remains a seminal work in 20th century philosophy. It influenced the development of logical positivism and the philosophy of language, inspiring subsequent generations of philosophers to investigate the nature of language, logic, and the limits of meaningful expression. In summary, Treatise Logico-Philosophicus, by Ludwig Wittgenstein, is a philosophical work that explores the nature of language, logic, and the boundaries of meaningful communication. Wittgenstein argues that language mirrors the structure of reality and meaningful statements correspond to facts. He emphasizes the importance of logical analysis and proposes that philosophical problems arise from linguistic misunderstandings. While the book has faced criticisms for its reductionist approach and its complex style, it remains a significant contribution to the philosophy of language and has shaped subsequent philosophical inquiry.